Good evening and welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show, where at any time we can become professional to unprofessional. That's just the way it rolls here. I got with me Bo Crouch and, of course, James JTrain Martin. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah. Keith he said he had a dinner today. That's why. Okay, so without two of our comrades. One's working at the stadium today, and the other one's out with dinner with his wife. Retirement is great. I can't wait to get there. All right. So, guys, the MLB playoffs are heating up a little bit, or for some teams, it's cooling down.
Cooling way off.
Well, yeah.
How about those Detroit Tigers?
Yeah. How about those Detroit Tigers and and Houston too, the Houston Astros? So it's awesome. Awesome. It's awesome.
The best.
But the Yankees are coming up there. Toronto's playing 500 in the last 10. The Yankees are 7-3, I believe, in their last 10. Yep. Won 3 in a row. So they're gunning for Toronto's spot to win that division. And it's looking pretty good. Red Sox in the wild card, they're 5-5. Let's see. We just talked about the Tigers. The Tigers have lost 7 or 1-9 in their last 10 games.
Yeah, that's rough.
Awesome.
That's rough. Like you guys are trying to miss the playoffs altogether, which is crazy because you guys had like a 7-game lead, right?
Well, it was a 14-game lead in July. Mm. Then it went down to a 12.5-game lead at the beginning of August, and it's faded ever since that point. So
yeah, I mean, because you guys occupy the last wild card spot.
Yeah, and if they lose, they'll be pretty much. If Houston wins and we lose, I think that pretty much switches spots with them.
Oh, come on.
So I don't think so. I think you guys have the tiebreaker.
Oh, we get the tiebreaker?
I think you do. I think they that can be the difference between being in and out at this point.
Yeah,
I almost want to sound like the guy the grouch guy from Major League and say, who cares? They're blowing in the ninth. It just even if they do make it, it just feels like it's just that type of situation. I mean, unless the wild thing comes out and starts, it's just like, man, I'm sorry.
That would have been Tarek Skubal yesterday, beating Fry in the face at 99 miles an hour. And his performance went downhill after that because he felt so bad about hitting Fry. He didn't know, that his performance took a hit. He was distraught after that. And I could tell the way he was pitching.
I mean, you could tell in the moment. Like,
yeah,
the ball hadn't even hit him yet, and he had already thrown his glove to the ground. And then you see it blast him in the face. He throws his hat. Like he was done. Realistically, you probably could have pulled him out of the game at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, because you could tell just he was not there. I got a still shot of the impact, though. Whew, man, brutal.
Yeah, so he's got orbital, I think it was nose is fractured. He's got face fractures.
Yeah,
his nose.
He broke his nose big time. You can't eat 99 square to the face. Like that's just that doesn't work.
And that's probably how the Tiger season's going pretty much. A busted nose at 99 miles an hour. In other baseball though, some positive notes. Seattle.
Before you move on.
Yeah.
Having this epic meltdown down the stretch, potentially, like if you miss the playoffs, does your manager get fired?
Oh, he's got to go.
I mean, you'd think so because you could have accidentally won a couple of games and got in the playoffs at this point. And I mean, I feel like that kind of meltdown, being that far ahead with a month to go, that's the kind of stuff that gets people fired.
Yeah, that's definitely coaching. That's all there is to that to me. I mean, 75% coaching and 25% players. But the coach has got to get him out of that slump. He's got to do something. If he's got to shake up the lineup, get different people in there. I mean, they had Charlie Morton and they DNR'd him, and they brought up another pitcher. I mean, that's how bad it's getting for the Tigers. That Morton was supposed to be our third pitcher, fourth pitcher in our rotation.
Mhm.
I mean, Brian, what could you possibly attribute it to? I mean, because this is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, meltdowns in history, right?
Karma. Because last year they zoomed into the playoffs. If you so-called remember, they were way down there. They were how many games from first were they? Like 7 or 8, 10 games, and they roared back in July, August, and September, and got into the playoffs. Maybe that was just baseball God's ugly way of doing it, selling your soul. I don't know. But yeah, they're terrible right now. I mean, Cleveland Guardians, they're 9-1 in the last 10. Cleveland's been doing their job. They've been playing pretty good baseball, and they're probably a team you don't want to face in the playoffs right now because they got pitching and pretty timely hitting. It's gotten a lot better over the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Bo's Seattle Mariners, though, look at them, won 5 in a row. They're 9 out of 10 in the last 10.
Yeah, what's even wilder about that is they are like 15-1 in their last 16 games.
Yeah, they're playing great baseball.
I mean, they're entering the playoffs on a heater. They got Colorado right now, which that's a minor league team essentially, and then they finish against LA though. So going against the Dodgers to wrap up the season, that'll be interesting. If they can complete the sweep of Colorado, which that wouldn't shock me, and they steal one game from LA, they lock up the second seed in a first round bye.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is a weird thing to say when you're talking about the Mariners.
And you weren't talking like this a few weeks ago.
I wasn't talking like this a week ago. Like, I'm just like, yeah, they're going to mess this up. Like, again, I've been a Mariners fan my whole life. We're the only team in the league that's never been to a World Series.
Yep.
I mean, there's 6 teams that haven't won, but we've never got there.
Well, Robbie.
I mean, that's fair. It's been a minute since the Pirates. It was like 72, right?
Yeah, it's been a while, but at least they've been in it, So,
Well, they actually won it, so I mean,
yeah,
they got a ring. But yeah, I think it was like 72 was the last time they were there. So it's been a minute, but we've never been. So in fact, we've never even won the championship series. So hell,
I would put it like this. I think this is what we're gonna do. I figure the Tigers are gonna blow this in the next couple of games anyway. They're gonna be out of playoffs, so I don't have to worry about cheering for them. So I'm going for the Mariners.
That's man, don't bring your bad luck over here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's coming, buddy.
It's funny though, because I always attribute the Mariners that same way, right? It's like, oh, well, we never had to worry about what sport we were going to watch in October. Now we have to actually kind of pay attention.
They have a really good team. I mean, they're another team that has the balance of pitching and hitting. So I feel they're going to be another team that's going to be, you don't want to face them in the playoffs either.
For sure. I mean, this was the first time they finally did something at the trade deadline, right? They never, I mean, when you look at the Mariners,
they
never do anything at the trade deadline, right? Mm-hmm. Like you see guys moving around, you're like, okay, what are we going to do? And then it passes and they're like, oh, nothing. Cool. All right. Well, better luck next year, I guess.
Yeah, and the National League, and that's good. I like I said, I'll be cheering for you guys if we don't make it. That's for damn sure. In the National League, the Phillies have sewed up their division. They've been 5-5 in their last 10. They're playing like I don't give a F ball right now. The Mets are 5-5. I don't know what they're doing. But,
they're trying to miss the playoffs because
yeah, they're trying
Arizona,
to do like the Tigers.
well, Arizona and the Reds are both playing decent baseball. So, I mean, the Mets may Mets it up and miss the playoffs altogether.
Hey, orange and blue teams aren't making it this year, I can see.
I'm not sad if Houston misses.
Yeah. The Central in the National League, Milwaukee Brewers already sewed up their division. They got the best record in baseball right now. The Cubs are, and they lost 3 games. They're 5-5. It's like these teams are like, whatever. We're just going to cruise into the playoffs, and then when we get there, we'll play, I guess. Cubs are 4-6. They've also got a playoff spot. They lost the last 5, though. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers 6-4 in the last 10, lost 2. Padres are 7-3 in their last 10 and have won 4. Both of them are in the playoffs. So, and eliminated, of course, are the Colorado Rockies. Sure.
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, since the middle of the year.
Right. Since the beginning of the season, really. Washington, Atlanta are also eliminated from playoff contention. Texas Athletics and the Angels, along with the Twins, the White Sox, the Orioles, and the Rays.
And the Pirates.
Yeah. So, yeah. And pretty soon it'll be the Tigers, and that'll be fine. But anyway.
Wow.
That's just amazing, ain't it? You know,
it's crazy because
incredible is a better word.
Yeah.
How far ahead you were, it's wild that you are barely hanging on to a wild card spot.
Well, we had this argument between me and Jack about, because Jack said, well, the Boston Red Sox messed up 15 games in July. I said, that was in July. Mm-hmm. The Tigers still had a 12.5 game lead in August, and they lost that. So I think that's probably the worst crash right there.
Well, and even if you make it, like that, that's the worst part about it, is even if you make it, you've backed into the playoffs, which almost never works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been an outlier where a team randomly comes to life, but generally, if you back in, you're first round exit.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get – if they don't fire him, I don't know what's going on. They need to fire that whole management.
He may have some naked pictures on some people there. So
there you go.
Hey,
maybe he might be trumping it out. So we're going to switch that over to I was hoping Keith came out here, but I forgot he had his thing. But we'll do a little bit of college football. What the hell, you know? Right now, let me see what we got here. If I can get to it. I believe Ohio State's still number 1. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact,
and
we have them
LSU is 3rd, right? Or are they 4th?
I think they dropped to 4th. They dropped to 4th.
Yeah. They dropped to 4. How did they drop to 4?
Well, they played a gimme game last weekend, and someone hopped them. I forgot what team it was.
Well, and of course, those rankings are also based on style points. So if they beat nobody, but they didn't beat them by enough, they're like, "Oh, what's wrong with them?" And they drop them down. So I mean, it's those rankings.
It was a 56-3, then 10 at the end when they scored after the third string, the LSU players got in, they scored a touchdown. So really, I mean, it's not a big deal. I just think, obviously you get into the playoffs, that everything goes from there. Yep. I think LSU, the meat of their schedule is going to be coming up now, including Ole Miss starting off this weekend. So.
Yeah, Miami's number 2, Penn State's number 3, LSU 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6, Oklahoma 7, Florida State 8. Number 9 is Texas A&M, and number 10, Texas. Texas teams are really making a showing, aren't they? You got Texas A&M, Texas, and Texas Tech all within 4 spots of each other.
Texas Tech's good.
Yeah,
they are.
Texas A&M ain't too bad either. Texas is.
So A&M's that school that they have a squad, pretty consistently, and then they lose a key game, and then they become irrelevant the rest of the year because college football is the way it is. But they've had a team the last few years.
They had a nice win against Notre Dame. So if I'm not correct, right? That was they beat them with that on fourth and whatever and goal.
So my Huskies have a real test coming up Saturday. We have Ohio State coming to town, and we're unranked, rightfully so, right? We are 3-0 on the season though, because we beat up on some teams that don't matter. But I think the Washington offense can keep pace. I don't know if the defense is good enough to keep them out of the end zone. So this feels like it's going to be kind of a high scoring game because, again, the Huskies are going to be able to move the ball, but they're not going to be able to stop Ohio State very much. So this feels like one of those like 45-35, 48-35, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with you with that. I can agree with Bo on that. Yeah, they can run the football, but you asking about Washington?
Yeah.
Because if they can, that's one of their Achilles' heels. He's trying to mention that they have no good run defense there, and that's the only thing. And I'm going to say I saw Yin just said that they look unstoppable, but yeah, they really hadn't played anybody. I'll be honest with you, just yet. Outside, Texas looks a little, questionable. I would say and the Texans probably could have won that game. They had better stats, and they had like 166 rushing yards that they put up on Texas. On OSU. And OSU, I think the cream of that conference is probably going to be Penn State. Penn State has not been able to get over the hump the past few years, but I just think this year they look like they're ready. I think they look like they're ready. Just the games that I've seen thus far with them, and OSU, they really need to buckle down with the run defense. But that doesn't get better with time if you don't have the personnel. And I just think in their linebacking core, defensive line is decent, but their linebacking core is not that great. And so if you got a really good offensive line that can muscle them and have a good running game, and I think Penn State has that right now. And it's going to be tough with them. So we'll see.
How do you think Michigan's been beating them for 4 years straight? For all the things that Ohio State has not adjusted is run defense.
Yep.
Michigan always beats them running the ball, always. Mm-hmm. And you figure by 4 games, you figure that out,
But they might have a tough time going this time with Michigan. I know
we don't have the running backs that we had the last 4 years. Right. Our running backs are okay. This is what I was telling Keith before. I think our running backs are okay, but they're not Blake Corum and Edwards. They're not either one of those two. So yeah, I'm not seeing that being. I hope I'm not going to say they're going to lose because F Ohio State. But anyway, I'm going for 5, man. I ain't trying to let Ohio State people know that either, But yeah, it's going to be rough because right now their offense looks all weird. They're doing all kinds of weird things with their offense. So I don't know. USC is going to Illinois, number 21 USC to number 23 Illinois. I don't have any confidence in Illinois. And they got their butt whooped like that by Indiana. I don't even know how they're ranked anymore. But
that wasn't a butt whooping. That was a flogging, man. That just looks pretty bad. I mean, what was it? They have 70 points they allowed?
Yeah. Well, I think
that's crazy.
63 to 10 or something like that. Yeah.
Either way, you don't put up 60 or 70 burgers in college football unless you're just dominant. And I had questions about Indiana because of how they played against OSU last year. I mean, they had all those games that they were winning and knocking them out, and then they just got lambasted last year by OSU. But now, man, to put up that many points against a quality team, I mean, we'll see how really good the Fighting Illini really is. But I just don't. I agree with you. I don't have faith in them going against USC. I think USC is going to get them their second loss as well.
Yeah, and another interesting game is your LSU Tigers versus Ole Miss. That's going to be good in Ole Miss. Number 4 versus 13. Do you see what do you? And they got Ole Miss favored as a 1.5.
Yeah, I think that offensively, Ole Miss is better, but I don't think I think we can hold them to a low scoring game. We just got to do something offensively for LSU. LSU has to run the ball better. They're averaging, I think, like 80 yards a game or something like that, and it's just not. And we have we lost like 4 starters on the offensive line to the pros, and so now they got some guys that they got from the transfer portals, in combination with guys that moved up. It looks decent. It's decent enough. And then of course they're not throwing the ball as much. I mean, they're giving them 2-man safeties. So Nussmeier's not throwing any deep balls. And he's really known for that gunslinging mentality, but they're trying to curtail him as well because sometimes his decision making can be inadequate, to say the least. And when he's out there throwing the ball all over the place, but he's got the horses out there wide receiver wise, and so they can compete. I just think that the defense is what's really going to be a problem for Ole Miss, and because our defense has been, I think they've been averaging like 9 points a game they're allowing, and they can't run against LSU, and they're not going to just like light it up. And I think the quarterback is a newer guy, and he's doing okay, but he's going to have some problems with those DBs that they have at LSU. So I think that's wrong. I mean, I'm not just being biased. I try to be fair in regards to that, but I think LSU. Hey, if I think they're going to lose a game, if the game I think they might lose might be Alabama. That's the toughest game that they're probably going to face. Because I thought Clemson was the toughest game, and doesn't look like that's true anymore. But I think Alabama might be bouncing back. Alabama's got a tough one against Georgia, but I know we're going to talk about that later. But I think LSU can beat Ole Miss, man. It's just I don't even think I think it might be like a 7-point win for LSU.
Maybe we can stay in that SEC because yes, number 17 Alabama is playing number 5 Georgia. I'm sorry. I mean, they got Georgia at 3.5, but I'm thinking that, man, I think Georgia's going to put a whooping on them. I just believe that. I just don't have no faith in Alabama anymore. I just don't.
If this is a game that they should bounce back, it definitely needs to be this one. I looked at the stats and I saw Georgia is just more. They seem more dominant defensively, and the way they played against Tennessee, and Tennessee is really good. Tennessee is great. They by all intents and purposes, they probably should have won that game if the kicker would have just actually made the kick, but you can't depend on your kicker. So, Georgia came back and won that game fair and square. And you got to give credit where credit is due. Kirby Smart is a really good head coach. I think he outsmarted, no pun intended, he outsmarted was Heupel? Yeah, I can't think of it. He's the quarterback for Oklahoma. I forgot his name. Heupel. I might be saying that wrong. Keep will give you the rundown here, but I think he outsmarted him, and I think it's going to be a tighter game than people think. Alabama look like they're making a turnaround here. There was a statement saying that if Alabama loses this, are they out of the playoff race? I think so. And so I think they're going to come hard against Georgia. And I give Georgia the edge, but a close one. It's going to be close. So I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama wins this game, just maybe by 2 or 3 points. But it's going to be tough. I mean, it's SEC too.
I was going to say, I actually like the spread, the 3.5. That actually seems about right. But I think it's a coin flip. I think this game could go either way, and it'll probably be a field goal, or it'll be the overtime 2-point conversion stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it. It is a SEC battle between two, big juggernauts. Even if they are, if Alabama's not the Alabama that we're used to, still should be a good battle. So I can see that. Yeah, I can see that 52.5. Oof, this is right on that one. Okay. Big Ten. Oregon, number 6, is playing number 3 Penn State at Penn State. Penn State's a 3.5-point favorite on that one. Any thoughts? I think Penn State's going to win that one. I like Oregon, but Penn State's
Same.
on a different level right now.
I think so too. Yeah, I think they're going to beat them. And I don't know if it's going to be like a world-beating game, but I just think they're going to probably dominate them defensively, and they're going to shut that offense down, at Oregon. But I think it'll be a close game. What's the spread?
What does it say? 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Let me see.
But James Franklin has let us down in the past.
Well, and Oregon is absolutely surprised teams over the last years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ohio State for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. And they have a lot of their players back. So it's not like they lost a ton from last year, and they were no joke last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's all well and good, but Penn State, man.
They do look a lot better than last year. They look better.
Really
they look tough this year.
Michigan's not playing this week. They got to bye.
Don't get me wrong. As a Husky fan, I want to see Oregon lose.
Well, I mean, you're
just a realist, right, Bo?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying Oregon has a real shot in this game. But as a Husky fan, yeah, they can lose a bunch of them.
There you go. And since Michigan's not playing, my other team, of course, because I was in the Navy, is Navy. And they're playing Rice this week. Going to get a 14.5-point spread on that one. Yeah, it's at Navy.
Yeah.
Navy's been playing really well. I mean, they've been playing really good.
Outside of that first loss,
right? I've seen Navy play in a while. They're actually airing the ball out too. It's not like all the service they all do is run. Army, but Navy's airing it out. So that's really good to see that they're trying to change over to a different type of offense instead of keeping the same formula the rest of the service colleges are doing. So, but yeah, they're doing really well too. All right, from that to the NFL. So what do you think about Jackson Dart? He's been named a starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
Well, I mean, when you saw Russell Wilson goal line stand, throwing balls that no one had a chance for. I mean, he got an intentional grounding for throwing it up the tunnel. I mean, you got to try to throw a ball out the back of the end zone and still get an intentional grounding. They almost always just give you that. When we launch it to the locker rooms, obviously you weren't throwing it to somebody. But then if you looked at 3rd and 4th down, they were 8 yards out the back of the end zone. Like, he didn't even give his guys a chance. So was that him trying to protect his legacy of not throwing an interception there? Or I don't know. But, I mean, you basically were just giving up on that drive the way he was throwing that. And then that one run where it almost looked like he closed his eyes and ran for 4 yards. Like, he didn't even try and juke anybody. I mean, I understand he's older and he's not as elusive as he was, but you could at least make the attempt. Like, you're not a fullback. Don't do this.
Yeah, I think, he said he's not going to retire, after they named Dart the starter for the rest of the season. And the question was asked upon him, are you going to retire? You thinking about retiring? He said, no, I'm not thinking about retiring. I just got demoted. That's all there is to it. I didn't play good football, and that's what happens when you don't play good football. And he said the right things.
Well, you always expect him to, right? You expect Wilson to say the right stuff, even if his actions don't follow it exactly. What's going to come out of his face on a podium will be that pro response every time.
I kind of disagree with this whole Dart situation in the first
place. I disagree with it too. He hasn't played. Yeah. I mean, and the starter is who played, and I get it. And look, he played bad last week, but against the Cowboys, I mean, he lit it up. I mean, I don't care how bad the defense was. I mean, this is an NFL team that gave up almost 500 yards. You know, they're not that bad.
They
So
are.
he actually played. He played really good ball.
They
I mean,
are.
Throwing some pinpoint passes.
they're
too.
bad, but they're not that bad. I mean, he actually he threw. I mean, if you're telling me the guy was the last touchdown that was with 25 seconds left remaining, two guys were on him, but he threw a dime right there. So I mean,
That was a great
he
throw.
still. Yeah, I'm just saying he has talent still, but I mean, obviously, he's not the same Russ that he was. But my point is, he still could be a starter in the league or a capable backup. He could be a capable backup either way. But to put Jackson Dart in as the starter for the remaining of the season tells me a couple of things here. It tells me that one, the coach is probably trying to save his job. This is the guy that he wanted, and he wanted a comparable player to Josh Allen, whom he worked with in Buffalo. He helped groom and help him become the quarterback that he was, or that he is now. And so he wants to do the same thing here. And two, that either he's going to keep his job even if they do lose out of the season, and he has nothing to lose. I mean, right now because there's only one way but up and or down because they don't see anything being productive or positive for the outlook for the rest of the season because it's just what it is. I mean, they're between their defense, which is a total disappointment with all the talent that they have there. They've given up all those points, which they didn't do too bad against Kansas City, but they still lost the game.
Receivers. Like you don't have any receivers in KC, so I mean, you
right.
should.
That's true. Right, and at the same time,
they always go through this. We don't have any receivers, or people keep us. They don't have any receivers, but yet they still keep going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they legitimately don't. There's a reason that they are. Their record is what it is. We'll put it that way.
No, I agree. I think the marriage. It all started with the marriage between Tyrese. Who's it? No, I'm sorry, not Tyrese. I can't even think of the kid's name. Tyreek Hill, and Kansas City. I think it all changed. Although they still went to a couple Super Bowls afterwards, but at the same time, you can still see no one has been able to take the top off of defense like Tyreek Hill there, and allow the game to open up for some of the other guys. It's Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean,
he's a good number 2.
Yes, exactly. He's not a number 1, and I think I keep wanting to say Ray Rice is kind of similar. Rashee Rice with the off the field issues. He's missing. They're missing him for sure. Yeah. And he's definitely a number 1, but he just can't seem to get out of his own way with the issues here. Yep. And so
Xavier Worthy can he looks like he's clear to play this Sunday when they play Baltimore. So
yeah. But I always thought when he got drafted, I said this guy he ran a 4.29 or whatever it was he ran, but there's a reason. Look at him. He's the size of somebody that's hungry.
But that can work though. Like if you're fast and you make some clean cuts, you do your job the way Tyler Lockett does. You catch the ball, you go to the ground. Do not take that big hit.
Yes, I agree with you in that regard, but he took friendly fire from his own, and look what it did.
He got rocked though.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He got rocked, but again, a bigger receiver probably would still be playing the rest of that game and on. Probably wouldn't have got put out. I mean, his shoulder was displaced, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he ran into Kelsey like full on. So I mean, like that'd be like getting lit up by your middle linebacker. It's like, yeah, that's probably not great. Like,
Well, I mean, to the point that James is saying, though, I mean, if he was a bigger, had that been like, for instance, Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson was running.
Yeah,
That would
Kelsey
be
might
a
have fell.
collision. I think both of them would have been hurt in that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not apples to apples, right?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, when you think of any of the smaller receivers that have made a career, you get blasted by, you know, a big tight end or a middle linebacker or something. Yeah, you're probably getting helped off the field. That's why those receivers, the smaller guys for sure, never appreciated an over the middle hospital ball, right? Because it's just like, oh yeah, you're trying to end my career, man. Like, what are we doing? So
Yeah. So I on Jackson Dart though, I don't think this is a good. I mean, I understand where Dable's coming from because he's trying to save his job. I think that's basically the whole point of this whole situation.
that's all it is.
But that offensive line, and they're gonna and the first team he's got to play is the Chargers,
Yeah.
and they got a great defense. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I get moving off of Russ because he looked bad. He was making rookie mistakes, right? Like, he was making rookie decisions. So I get the, hey, we got to make a change. They go directly to Dart, forgetting that Winston's out there, right? You have a hierarchy of quarterbacks for a reason. So you know what? Russ isn't getting it done. Demote him. Put Winston out there. Certainly again.
But Win doesn't put the win. I mean, Winston doesn't put the win in Winston.
Yeah.
But he
It
puts it
changed
in
the-
Big Apple, that's for sure. That dude is always good for entertainment. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
Oh,
He
he's
don't care.
entertaining for sure.
He's called 30 for 30 for a reason.
That's right. But yeah, no, I mean, like, if nothing else, I would have started Winston for a week. I was hoping Dart was going to get at least half the season before he was shoved out there. I do like a rookie to get a little bit of time, get up to game speed a little bit. You know, not everybody needs it, but most of them do, right? So I do appreciate if they wait longer. But I mean, this 100% is Dable trying not to get fired. Like that's all this is.
I agree. And they're probably figuring that Jackson Dart can probably, I mean, he's a much faster runner probably than Russ at this juncture of his career.
Sure.
And so if he's in trouble, he can probably escape a lot better, and he can throw on the fly too as well. So he's just a younger version of a Russ, you know, as well, in a taller version. So he'll look, that line is horrific. I agree with B. It's just pretty bad. And I think they get Andrews back, or I mean, or the kid, the left tackle. I think I remember JTrain let me know.
No.
Yeah,
And then they lost their top running back.
Yeah.
So Scatterboo's going to be the starter.
Tracy's out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't watch the game. I just watched highlights here.
Oh, hey, you're good. It's the stuff that comes over the wire, you know. But and another thing is, and no offense, James, but I would not have started Dart this game. I probably would have started the next game, which is against the Saints.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I'm not saying the Saints won't give them the business.
Way to chime in, Bo, after you just lambasted my team.
No, but I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, you're not really throwing a slight. Like, it's not like James doesn't know that the team isn't good. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to walk on, you know.
No, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I mean, again, we play well against two undefeated teams right now with both the 49ers and with the 49ers, they still undefeated?
Yeah, they are. That team is so injured. Like, they are accidentally undefeated.
Yes. And so we had opportunities to beat both those teams, both the Cardinals and the 49ers. It's crazy. We played three straight NFC West teams, you know, and so I don't think anybody came to play against the Seahawks. Yeah, and then I thought we would lose, but I mean, I didn't think we would lose like that. And so, and it seemed like everything that can go wrong went wrong, you know, special teams.
It's why I wasn't talking shit at all, right? Because I was just like, we were 5 minutes into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to send a message because, like
yeah,
I knew we would lose, but I thought we would go there with a fight.
Teams were getting lambasted, you know.
Yeah, no, like if it's a close game, like, you know, I'm gonna be chirping, but when it's something like that, especially when it was so quick, it was just like, oh yeah, like I I don't need to pile on here. Like,
I don't think anybody expected nothing like that, right?
Yeah,
And so when it happens, you're like, oh man, okay, this is over quick.
oh yeah,
Let's just take the animal out to the back into pastures and just.
I had to worry about watching the Lions on Sunday, so I got to watch several teams. And then when I was looking, and I have Red Zone on, and I have other games on too at the same time. And I was like watching Red Zone. I was like, oh, they just scored no touchdown. I'm like, damn, what's the score?
And
like,
Red Zone's probably showing the whole game for the Saints because it's just kept showing play after play.
you're like, was that a replay? Oh no, they scored again. Wow. Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. I was able to watch on NFL Plus. I was able to watch the whole game in Atlanta. So I was like, oh, good. I get to watch it. And it's like the only game I get to watch of the Saints here live. They are no show for sure.
Yeah.
So another
that one was tough. That one was tough.
good old football news. CJ GJ was released from the Texans after just 3 games. And I believe Bo on his show said he can't go back to Philadelphia.
Have to play a 4th game.
Yeah, Pag said he can't go back there because he had to play 4 games.
So they can't bring him back. He has to play at least 1 game somewhere else. So yeah, part of that rule, if you're traded out, is you have to play 4 games elsewhere. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
They kind of were. Although that punt return was awesome.
I bet.
No, I mean just as a football fan, right?
It depends on your perspective, your point of view.
Right.
You want to see it against your own team, but
one being a Seahawk fan and one being a Saint fan. There you go.
Well,
Right.
For me, just from I love watching special teams play because it can swing games all over the place, right?
Oh, for sure.
So I loved watching all of the field goal blocks. There was an insane amount of field goal blocks, right?
Which is odd to me. I mean, all of the games, like, wow, look at this. And particularly the one in Philadelphia with Jordan Davis. You know he was clocked at 19 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, it was like 18.5 or something like that. Like, I mean,
that's go ahead and round it up. Give that big man 19.
Yeah. No, but
that big man was.
I like seeing some of the special teams plays. So, I mean, taking the teams out of it, watching that, a 95-yard punt return, you're like, okay, here we go. And then you see all those blocks and you're just like, okay, the Eagles, the last one was a block, swoop and score. And you're just like, yeah, man, special teams showing up this weekend.
Yeah, I was. As much as I like to agree with you, I just can't with that Saints one because 2 back-to-back, the punt, block as well too. That's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean, obviously on that end of it, right? But there's 31 other teams that could enjoy it.
Yeah.
So CJ GJ got released from the Texans after 3 games. I don't know if that has to do with toxicity in the locker room because Texans are 0-3. Are they trying to get rid of trash? Is that what they're trying to do right now?
I think they're trying.
Look, I'm going to say this. There has to be. I'm going to speak on this because he was drafted by the Saints in the 4th round. There has to be something with him in the locker room because there's too many teams that he's been through in a short career, just short span in his career, and he's a relatively good player. And for you to say that he can't stay on any team, either there's something psychological or something that's just toxic about this player to consider that no one's keeping him. And he's 3 games in. And again, he was great with the Eagles. He was great with the Saints. He was great with the Lions, I think. And I just think that
he didn't play with it. He played 2 games. He played 2 games and 2 playoff games, 3 playoff games with the Lions because he was out most of the season. Yep. And then he tried to go in there and do that weird stuff with the ski mask stuff. And I was like, see, this is what Dan Campbell does not like. And sure enough, he was not renewed for the next year to come back to us because he's going somewhere with that stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a little disturbed. He wasn't always like that, though. I think when he was with the Saints, that was probably his best.
Nah, it was there, brother. It was there.
Oh, it was there.
They just tolerated him as long as they could because I think we had him when we were still winning, and so, and when you're not winning, and then I think contract was coming up, they knew that at some point they were going to do that. Why not go ahead and just let him go, get a draft pick for him, and be done with that. And that's what happened. And then it just, you see the paper trail is just pretty bad. Going through all the different teams. And like you said, he may go back to the Eagles. We'll see.
Well, he can't. He has to go do it.
Well, I mean, until after the fourth game, right? He's probably just sit out for a while.
Well, I mean, the Bears are bringing him in for a workout.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Good luck with that.
Oh, that's Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen. I wouldn't be surprised he goes.
But he was on the Lions, and guess who's the coach of the Bears? Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
You figure he would know what is going on with him too, but
but if
Dennis, he's probably talking to Dennis Allen, and Dennis probably persuade him to at least try.
Well, especially for a workout, right? Because that means you're getting him for nothing, right? So you're like, okay, well maybe we bring him in to help on the back end. Dennis Allen's like, look, I had him before. I can get him to play within my system. So like there's elements of it, like it could work.
And to be honest with you, he's a pest against any team that he plays, and that's the guy you want. You want a guy like that on your squad until you can't handle them anymore. And I think that's probably the situation. I think that's just what it is. You want a guy to be able to get under the skin of the receivers because he did. He did. If one thing you can say about him that he did, man, he began to fight swinging matches with some of the receivers because he talks a lot of trash and he was able to back it up. He's an excellent box, nickel / safety, and he played well. It's just something's off. Something's off there.
Well, now he's going after quarterbacks, and him making Baker Mayfield. They have their little thing going on. So, because he was talking stuff to Baker when Baker hurt his leg. I think it was on a tackle with the Texans. That was the last game I think that GJ played with the Texans, and he got a little choppy with Baker, and Baker got right back in his face. So both of them have a love-hate relationship going on. I just don't. When he was Detroit, I just didn't. I had that I wanted him to be really good because I liked him as a player. I didn't know he had all this extra curricular BS going on. Because he was with Philadelphia, and I kind of thought it odd that Philadelphia let him go that one time and didn't bring him back in. And I was like, maybe.
Well, he was with them twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with them twice.
Yeah, the guy that he makes me think of, that the way he gets under people's skin is, you remember the Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan fight?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? He reminds me of Finnegan, where he just irritates people until they want to punch him out. Right. The problem is as much as that happens on the field, that happens in the locker room because that is a personality trait. Right.
Right.
So the fact that he's moved some teams does make some sense to me. But yeah, you want him on your team when you go play a guy like DK or Pickens or those guys that you can clearly get under their skin. You're like, oh yeah, let me go get this guy kicked out of the game real quick.
To your point though, bringing up Cortland Finnegan, if we all can recall, Andre Johnson slung him around like Andy Ragdoll. So
he car heel out of him.
And it was funny because Andre Johnson was a pretty mellow dude. So for you to get him to that point is amazing. Ripping the helmet off and just throwing haymakers, unreal. I remember I remember watching that game and I'm like, whoa.
Watching a football game and a boxing match.
Oh man. Well, and you could even get it if it was, some of the players that were hot-headed that you're like, okay, these are two hot-headed players that are going to go at it. Andre Johnson wasn't that dude. So for you to push him over the top like that, you're just like, okay, clearly this guy needed a beatdown.
Don't mess with none of the guys from the U. You don't mess with the guys from the U.
Another note in the NFL, offensive tackle Lane Johnson got hurt. Probably won't be playing on this Sunday. You know how he got hurt? Tush push. Hurt his neck on the tush push. And you know, if Jack was here, he'd jump all over that. I told you.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's Jack's fault. No one's gotten hurt from the tush push until he brought it up.
Start bringing it up. Yeah. It's his fault. And you know, Tampa Bay also signed that big 400-pound kid too. What's his name? Damon? What's his name, James?
Finch from Wildcats.
Yeah, that guy. So I guess they're bringing him in on every tush push down. That's what's going to happen because they said he's going to moor the middle of the line so they can't do anything.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it does for Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Like right next to Vita Vea?
Oh man. I think that would fail. I think that tush push would fail quite a bit of times.
What's the combination of the weight if he's on there? I mean, he's already two players combined.
Exactly. Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about wearing them out. He's just got to be on the field for those plays. That's it.
Well, and it certainly isn't going to be any momentum going through the guy.
No.
All of a sudden, you're not doing the straight ahead thing. Like you're pushing to corners.
It's like the Great Wall of China there, and you're trying to push through that.
Yeah, that dude is a monster.
Philadelphia. Hopefully they have good luck with that because that's going to be a monster.
Well, I mean, I guess when you think about it that way, is they're tying up a roster spot, but as much as they do it, they're still going to end up having him for 4 or 5 plays a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
come on, Yinzer. I'm going to tell you, man, you get tired of seeing it. Then stop it. You got to stop it, man.
That's the thing. Like, stop trying to force teams to get rid of a play. Just learn to stop the play. Or here's a good idea. How about play better defense on 1st and 2nd down so it's not 3rd and 1? And then it doesn't matter. You know what? When it's 3rd and 5, you know what you're not doing? It's the tush push. So play better defense. I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, not anybody complaining about it because, I mean, if someone it's already hard enough to play in the game itself, but if you have a niche, why not just use it until it exists no longer? I mean, I think the biggest thing is just that they have a great offensive line and they have chemistry with the quarter. You have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds, and then you got a running back that can also squat 600 pounds. So why not it be a play?
Well, and it's not like it's only they can do it, right? Like other teams do it. Seattle has successfully ran it numerous times with
Buffalo.
The Bills, yeah.
Yeah, the Bills, they've had kind of spotty success, right? It's kind of gone back and forth. But, I mean, Seattle with Milroe, they've had good success with it so far this year. So it's not like you can't do it, but you have to have the personnel, right? Like, obviously, you're not having Kyler Murray go do that thing because that ain't going to happen, right? You're not going to have Tua do it because he'll die. So, I mean, like, there's obviously scenarios that it doesn't work. You're not going to have Stafford do it because
you're not going to have Goff do it either because he's awkward when he runs. So it's not going to happen.
For Stafford, his back is held together with duct tape and zip ties. So, I mean, obviously there's some personnel things that have to happen, but you can also direct snap to a fullback. So the fact that people haven't done that yet is wild to me. Just get the quarterback out of there altogether. You know what it is. Nobody's thinking it's anything else. Go put a fullback in. Go get a huge-bodied monster. And, the Fridge was that guy, right?
Or just your running back. If you're if you're a dominant running back, like you say, not just your fullback, maybe just your tailback too. A wildcat situation, I mean, and that was a thing. That was a hot thing for a moment, wildcat. But I would say, just like you said, put your fullback underneath or the Fridge. Why not give? Speaking of an idea, why not give the ball to Jordan Davis, like you said, the Fridge? I mean, as fast as that guy was moving, wow. I wouldn't mind giving the ball at the 1 yard line or 3rd or 4th and 1, or 3rd and 1. Why not?
direct snap it to the 400-pounder. Stop that.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
All of a sudden, people wouldn't get
Or somebody's getting hurt, or somebody's making a business decision. They're like, no, I'm just gonna get out the way of that.
Go ahead and have a first down, dude. I ain't.
You can have the first down. You can go ahead. I saw you running 18 miles an hour. You can go ahead and just take it to the end zone. Take it to the house.
all of a sudden you're that smaller safety jumping over the top. Oh, I thought he might jump. 0 days, 300-pounder jumping.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. Kicker Young Ho Koo signed by the Giants. So
sure,
but that was the dumb. I'm sorry, Atlanta. That was the dumbest thing you could have done was got rid of Young Ho. Okay, he missed a couple kicks, big deal. But then you get this other guy, and he really screws you. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'd rather stuck with Young Ho. I would have stuck with Young Ho.
so many players have a bad season. Like, I mean, it's not, especially when it comes to kickers. Like, you're bound to have a season where it doesn't all click. He's still one of the most accurate kickers all time. And so you decide to get rid of him, and you say it's one of their dumbest decisions, but we continuously watch them forget that Bijan exists. So is it, or is it really just in line with the fact they don't know what they're doing?
Well, they got rid of their wide receiver coach. He definitely was to blame for all their miscues and woes. But let's see what Zach. What's the guy's name? The offensive coordinator from LA. Is Zach something? I forgot. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't remember offhand.
Yeah.
We'll see if he straightened things out going forward. Hilliard's not to blame. Let's just put it that way. He wasn't the problem.
And lastly, not least, 128 players have been nominated for the 2026 Hall of Fame, and that includes your guy Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. I think Drew Brees is definitely going to get in there.
Both players that you just mentioned are getting there, both of them, without a doubt.
Zach Robinson.
Zach Robinson, yes.
That's what I thought his name was. But
it was going to bother me, so I had to look.
Zach Robinson. Okay.
Yeah, so that he needs to get some blame there as well. But you can't fire him right away, so you blame it on the wide receiver coach.
Which makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
I could look at this OC solidly because, again, you're not using your playmakers, right? So your other coaches that are under you aren't making you call plays that go away from your playmakers. That's the guy with the call sheet. Like, it's just kind of how the hierarchy works. Like, you're the OC, you get to call the plays. It's funny that way.
And you have to blame. I mean, you have to blame the quarterback too as well. Sure. Young as he is, and this is like he hadn't had a lot of experience, but he was off on some throws there. Well, unless the wide receivers were running terrible routes, which those guys, this is the same personnel that was there last year. And they were doing what they were supposed to do last year as well. So I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I mean this falls on the OC more than anything.
Yeah, Atlanta's just dysfunctional right now. Mm-hmm. I had a whole bunch of hope for them this season. I mean, not that I really care about Atlanta, to tell you the truth, but at the same time, I like to see teams, once they get certain things on their roster correct. Like, they had a pretty good defense set up, but I don't know where the defense is there either because they played good the week before. Then they got to Carolina and they whiffed. So I don't know what's going on.
And divisional games usually are supposed to be especially in the NFC South, you play a much better game. But that was the goose egg, Kev. If you out there, you're sitting on an egg, buddy.
Well, and I mean, when you're looking at that scenario, it's a bad division. So when you look at their roster, they should be battling for that division lead, not sitting here looking awful.
And that with being said, I do appreciate both you guys being on here tonight, Bo and James. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Watch them games this weekend, college and pro. And
Who's
tune into
who's
the
our pick for tomorrow?
baseball license and watch the Tigers totally self-destruct. Yeah.
Oh, I got
About 10 seconds. Who's our pick for tomorrow?
I got Seattle tomorrow.
I got Seattle too.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah, I don't trust Arizona.
Yeah.
And nor do you like them.
It's funny. It's a team that you look at their roster, and that's another one where you're just like, you don't know who's showing up each week. We watched them go 7-0 a couple years ago, and then miss the playoffs. So I mean, like, you just never know what they're going to be.
Yeah, it was just a different coaching staff. Actually, I think I did pick the Cardinals in this game, but we'll see.
I pick Seattle.
It's in Arizona, isn't it?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah. Usually between these two teams,
I mean,
it does.
honestly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're getting up out of here, people. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you later.